So I was just wondering, after last season, you were, a component on a Jazz team that was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. After that, you get traded to Memphis. You wind up, in the NBA Finals with the Heat. Can you just kind of reflect on what this past year has been like for you?
Man, I've been able to play in the playoffs, so that's all. My main focus has been playing at the highest level of basketball, and that's the playoffs. So through all that turmoil, I've been able to play basketball at a high level, and I'm grateful for that. And obviously, with the acquisition that we made, me moving here into Miami mid-season, it's been good for myself and for this team. So I've just been able to just take it in, live in the moment. Obviously, I just wanted to play on the playoff team come trade deadline, and I wanted to be able to play for something. And that's where we at right now.
Um, I don't know. You probably don't even realize this because you're in bubble, but tomorrow will be a year from media day here in Memphis. Exactly a year ago, you were. And if you go back to that moment, it's sort of bouncing off what you just answered, like reflecting on what you were able to accomplish both this year, both here in Memphis, where you became the leader of a young team that overachieved, and now with Miami, where you're this integral part of a championship team. How rewarding has this season been for you?
Well, it's been a learning curve for me, just in the sense of the start of this season, being in Memphis. I took on a different role. I took on a role that I've never taken on before in the NBA locker room, and it's just being a main leader, being a main vocal point, being a main guy who the young guys can lean on. I just wanted to excel in that role. And then once I got to Miami, I had a role to excel in as well. So it's been pleasant for me just to see the hard work and the dedication I put into my craft, into this job, into basketball pay off a little bit. And it's paying off in the sense of wins. And I'm playing at the highest level that you can play at as an NBA basketball player. So obviously I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the ups and downs of it all, the moving around, all of it. I'm grateful for it. I'm humbled to be a part of it. I just think it speaks on my hard work and how I approach the game and how I approach my job and how I approach my craft. It's just, I'm always trying to stay present, always trying to stay in the moment, and always trying to give it my best. So it's been great just to be a part of everything in the past year.
Hello, Jay. First of all, how is the atmosphere inside in the locker room before the game one, and what is the mindset from you and from your teammates about game one? And also, do you believe that the game one will set the tone for the whole series?
The atmosphere in the locker room, obviously, we've been focused throughout the whole playoffs, and we've been taking our opponents one game at a time, one film session at a time, and that's how we're approaching this game as well. We will be prepared mentally and physically for game one. I think obviously you have to readjust whatever it is you need to readjust per series. I think our coaching staff has done a great job of getting us prepared for each and every game, whether they go all way or not. I felt like each game we were prepared enough to win a game. And I just think that's key at this point of your season, just to be prepared. Make sure all guys on the locker room is on the same page. Everyone is locked in on the same goal, same page, and I just think that's key when you look into the playoffs and you look into each game, each series. It's key just to be on the same page and have one goal, and not just to win a game. Put ourselves in position to win a game, come fourth quarter. From there, the rest of it will take care of itself. But I honestly feel like each game we've had this postseason, we've been mentally prepared and physically prepared for battle. And I think that'll be the case tomorrow night.
Hey, Jay, you faced LeBron quite a bit over the years. I'm curious, what's one thing you got to do to make sure you have success against a LeBron James-led team? And I guess what's one thing he can't do or get to that if you want to beat him, one thing you have to do, one thing you can't let him do?
I mean, one thing you have to do is respond to the runs that his teams go on. Each team he's been on he's been able to create such a separation at some point in the game, whether it be one big crazy run. I just think you just try to minimize that as much as possible. And that goes on both ends of the court. Obviously, you got to get good shots on the offensive end, and defensively, you got to make it as tough as possible for not only him but for other guys as well. So I just think minimizing his knockout punches, his major runs that his teams go on, and just making it as tough as possible. It's not an easy task. Obviously, we all know that, but it's definitely something that's in our back pocket to just try to minimize as much as possible. You can't It's such a good team, such a good players over there. You just try to make it as tough as possible each and every possession.
And if I could, as a quick follow, just your shooting in the last series. I know it wasn't what you did the first 2 rounds, but with the Heat, it's always like they give you that confidence to keep firing away from 3. I guess where's your sort of confidence lie after what happened in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I mean, well, it happens. I put my work into the craft, and obviously I was getting different looks and good looks that I wasn't able to capitalize on, and obviously I'm focused on just moving on to another series, and do what I do best. I play confident, I play hard, I feed confidence into my teammates, and I'll continue to do so. But I put the work into it, and it's all going to come to play sooner or later. Obviously, our style here is let's do what we do and do it at a high level. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play basketball at a high level, step into my shots at a high level, and play with confidence.
Hey, Jay, it's Michael Lee Athletic. I know that you've had a chance, you've bounced around a lot of places. And what does it mean to be here on this stage, to finally make it this far, knowing that, are you fueled by a lot of the times you've been traded, you've been moved? Has that always been a motivational thing for you? Was it special to get past Boston, considering, I know that Gordon Hayward's on the other side, and there's a lot made about you being there when you were there. Are you motivated by being moved around, I guess?
I'm just motivated. To be honest with you, I'm motivated by winning. I don't care where I play. Obviously, I take pride into the group that I'm playing with. I obviously give them my all. But here I'm trying to be special. I'm trying to be special with a special group of players, and that's my motivation. Just trying to conquer it all. Trying to win it all. I mean, that's my motivation. That's been my motivation. Not so much of the trades. I don't look at that as motivation. I just try to make my mark each place I go, and that's my motivation. Just to be the best version of me I can be, wherever my number is called. Winning conquers it all. Winning conquers everything. So I can say that's my main motivation. As I tie my shoes up as a basketball player, just to try to win the game, no matter the cost. And I don't look too far into other teams or teams that I used to play on and stuff like that as motivation. I feel like I've been in the East Conference Final twice, 3 times now. I fell short twice, and that was my motivation, just to get over that hill, conquer the task of just winning at that stage. And obviously, you build that as your career goes on. But that's always been my motivation, to just try to win at a high rate, try to win it all.
Hey, Jay, not to harp too much on your shooting, because that's not all you're obviously worried about, but with these extra days off, are there certain things that you like to do to I don't know, maybe watch more film of seeing if you're doing anything differently, or just getting more shots up? Is there anything you're taking these couple days to try to reset there?
Yeah, for sure. Mentally, just take a step back from it, and then put the work into it, or whatever you come up with. Mentally, I've came up with a few things, and I'm just trying to do what I've been doing. Obviously, I didn't hear you guys. I didn't hear any media, or I didn't talk about my shooting when I was making shots. So it's funny that I want to talk about it now. But at the same time, I'm just doing what I do. I'm playing basketball. I'm trying to play at a high level. I work at a high level. So I just let what I do behind closed doors, keep it as that. I don't want to shed too much on that. Obviously, I'm a worker, so I've been working on that. So that's just all. Obviously, I watch film on it. I try to correct some things, but at the same time, I just got to play with a high level of confidence, do what I do.
Jay, what does it say about Myers' personality that he's gone from starting pretty much the entire season before the stoppage to now he's really not playing at all, but he's still screaming and yelling for you guys on the bench all the time?
Total team player. A guy you want to have on your team, 100%. He gives his all to the team, whether it be physically or whether it be verbally. He's a total team player. I think our locker room has embraced him as such, and it's just been a pleasant ride to be along with him. So with that being said, he definitely has a voice in our locker room. He's a leader in our locker room, someone we can always expect to be engaged in each and every game. And he's been a great teammate. He's been one of my best teammates to be at this level. Obviously, his role got cut, and his attitude never changed. I think that speaks volumes of who he is as a person and who he is as a player professionally. He's definitely someone you want to have in your corner.
How rare is that in the league from your experience?
Very rare. You got to look at a lot of guys have personality. A lot of guys have confidence. A lot of guys have pride, and sometimes they get in the way. And it hasn't thus far with Myers, and it just speaks of who he is as a person once again, man.
Hey, Jay, two questions for you. The first one, it seemed like in the last game, you really mixed up your game and started going inside and attacking. Is that something that you'll look to do? Hey, if my shot's not going, I'll just change it up and do whatever I need to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've always tried to be just a basketball player. I don't want to just look at a guy who's just one-dimensional or just you expect the same thing each and every game. I'm a basketball player. I feel like I do a lot of different things on the court. And I've been able to fill a role here in Miami, but at the same time, I am a basketball player, and I can't put the ball into where I can't make plays for myself. I can't make plays for my teammates. So I just tried to mix that up, see how they was guarding me, and just trying to adjust. Each series is going to be different, so I couldn't expect me to shoot the ball like I did in Milwaukee series and Indiana series each and every time. But I can take my time and get and focus in on how the defense is guarding me and how can I adjust as a basketball player to help my team success. So that's all I've been doing. That's all I've been focused on doing, and that's what I was doing during the series. Just watching how they were guarding me, watching their weak side, watching everything about how they were defending us as a team and me personally as a player, and just trying to adjust my game. Obviously, I had a couple of things go my way, but I still was able to affect the game on both ends of the court, and that's what I tend to continue to do.
Following up on Manny's question about LeBron, you also may get faced up with AD. What do you have to try to take away when you're defending him? What are the challenges there?
I mean, it's a lot of different challenges. Obviously, the main thing is play with physicality and not foul. I think he gets a good rhythm going at the free throw line. I want to do my best to make it as tough as possible and just defend without fouling. Be my best version of myself on that end of the court without picking up any ticky-tack fouls, without sending him to the line to get a rhythm, and just make it as tough as possible. I think he's a hell of a player. He's a proven player on the offensive end in our league, and he's done a great job of just being the second option, being a great first or second option, whatever you want to call it, in this league, and just being able to put the team on his back on the offensive end. So it's a tough challenge for all of us, and we're able to. We got a lot of guys on this side who's willing to take on that challenge. And I think that's key. When it comes, it sounds simple, but it's key. Just willing to take on the challenge of defending him and making it as tough as possible. That's my goal.